a lot of good things happening on Earth right now. And I know despite the coronavirus and the pandemic and all the negativity that we've been seeing, the ecosystem is doing a whole lot better. Animals are out and about. Um, I've seen some really cool videos of just like turtles migrating and shells washing up on shore, like things that people haven't seen in their whole lifetimes are happening now. Given 3 or 4 weeks without people kind of like flooding the beaches and kind of flocking over the land. I'm thinking about Iceland and how the tourists there have like no respect for the moss and the environment. It's got to be so beautiful there right now without anybody walking all over and doing selfies in every little spot.
Yeah, I remember when we were in Iceland, they had signs everywhere not to step on the flora and the fauna because it was getting ruined. So I'm sure not just Iceland, but everywhere in the world is getting that nice break that it needed for the Earth to kind of heal itself. So happy 50th anniversary for Earth Day. I'm happy that coronavirus is bringing some positivity to the world.
Oh, yeah.
Up next, last week we talked about we were starting a juice cleanse the day after we did our last live. So we survived. We did a 3-day juice cleanse, and I would say it's pretty great.
It was?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dave was suffering because he didn't drink coffee, but
yeah,
I don't drink coffee.
A juice cleanse and a coffee withdrawal. It was the perfect combination for basic travel fights.
I didn't have any issues with it. Like, it was great. We would just sleep in a little bit just to not have to think about eating. And then we would basically drink a juice like every 2 hours and go to bed. And the only time I ever got a headache was the last day I went grocery shopping so I could buy us some healthy food to eat when we broke our cleanse the next day. And
we didn't break our cleanse. We finished our cleanse.
Well, yeah.
It was a 3-day cleanse. I think we had 6 juices a day.
Mm-hmm. So
actually, I really enjoyed the juice. It was actually pretty delicious, especially the bone broth that we had for dinner. Super good.
We'll give you a preview.
And actually, because Lisa's so addicted to the juice from the Grove, shout out to the Grove. They're pretty good. She got some more. She dipped into our travel fund that we're not using right now and got some more juice. The trifecta here. So if anyone's interested in juice, let Lisa know. She put together a pretty good article about the benefits of juice cleanses and kind of like why it's a good idea to do them. You want to like recap that real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too much into it because we have a lot of news to cover today, and I don't want to go over last week.
What's the number one benefit?
I don't know if there's any one, but my biggest benefit, I would say, is how clear-minded I feel. I usually had a really hard time focusing, and I don't know, it's like night and day. Like this last week, I feel so much more focused, and I haven't had sugar cravings and like real sugar. I haven't had sugar in a week. Very shocking because I eat chocolate like every day. I used to eat ice cream all the time too. I haven't had any of that either. So those will be my biggest ones.
You want to do a juice cleanse that will cure your ice cream addiction. You heard it first here, guys.
I don't know about cure it, but anyway.
So we got lots of stuff on the agenda tonight for those of you that are just joining us. We've got our main man, Rich, our featured guest speaker. He's going to be joining us shortly. We had a lot of techno stress going on early on in this broadcast this evening. Our third reprisal of Quarantine and Cocktails. Hopefully we keep this going. I want to do this long term. It's been fun. People have been joining in and giving us good feedback. I see we got Joe Musilak just joined, Scott Vagabond, Zach Brown. What's up?
Hey, Zach.
Beaches in Phuket are amazing. Turtles are laying their eggs. Oh my God.
That's so awesome.
Shout out to Thailand.
All right, a couple more quick news articles.
Hold on. So Earth Day. Juice cleanse complete. The ants, I know people are asking us about the ants. They're still on the prowl. They are here in the house. I don't think they want to leave. We had a crazy day of I got really fed up one day and I just started killing all the ants. And Apparently, that's not what you're supposed to do when you set up the ant traps. And now all the ants have come back with a vengeance. I think they know what I did, and they didn't like it. So we've got double the ants. They're in the ceilings. They're in our bed. They were in Lisa's pants the other day. Literally, she had ants in her pants. She was sitting on the couch, and these ants crawled out from her pants.
No, I was actually sitting on the floor for a while.
She was like stretching on the floor. I think these ants crawled in her pants.
Anyway.
So I called her out. So the ants are here. Hopefully they're going to leave soon. We set up some more traps, and we're letting them eat the poison, and I'm not killing them anymore. So we'll see.
The biggest thing is that we are getting a tree removed now from next door. Like, it's in our neighbor's yard, but it's hanging all over our house. It's like damaging our roof and stuff. So I got quotes today, and we're gonna split the cost to knock that tree down. So I'm pumped because it's rotting from the inside. It's not like we're knocking down a healthy tree. It's infested with ants and bugs and squirrels, and you could.
It's infested with squirrels?
Yeah, there's squirrel nests in it.
Can you really? Can a tree be infested with squirrels? Can anything be infested with squirrels?
It has squirrel nests. They live there.
I'm cool with the squirrels. I'm
fine with the squirrels too, but they could hop over to the next tree.
I don't think we should do it anymore if there's squirrels in there.
All right, Dave is ridiculous.
No, I do have something to say about that tree though. You keep leaving out the best parts. So Lisa, I had some personal stuff on today, so I did not meet this tree cutter guy down in person. But the best part about all of this is at some point in the conversation, the guy actually had kind of brought it up without unprovoked. He's like, "Yeah, I even take credit cards. You guys can earn those points and miles." Like, I don't know if he
literally said that.
Recognized Lisa, or if it was just like by happenstance.
Yeah.
But he literally said that he takes credit cards for his service so we could earn points and miles. Like, chit-chatting. So we actually
oh yes. So now
go ahead.
I applied for the Hyatt World of Hyatt Chase credit card. We've been wanting to get it for a while. We had to get back under 524. And now it's like the perfect opportunity to meet a new minimum spend and double dip. So we're going to get some free hotel nights for knocking down a tree. So I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, I know, right? Perfect timing. So speaking of bonuses, I had opened up the City Premier card a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. And my bonus just came in, $60K. So I'm excited about that. You know, this is, I know I definitely talked about this a few times. Just to recap, you know, now is a good time to start kind of building up a bank, points and miles, you know, putting a stash away. You know, at some point, travel will happen again. For those of you that want to travel again, which hopefully it's most of you guys in this group, you know, it's a good time to start stashing away points and miles, because you know, when we are able to down the road, whether it's 6 months or a year or even 2 years away, you know, subsidizing flights and hotels with points and miles is huge. And, you know, I have a lot of trips in mind still that I would like to go on. So anyways, long as I sit on my soapbox of why now's a good time to earn points and miles, my $60K came in. I'm not using it. I got no plans to use it. The last time I had thank you points, we used those to fly first class to Japan on ANA, which was awesome. That was like a $20,000 flight. We paid $150. So
very awesome.
It's going to be pretty awesome to get back in the action with those points.
How are you doing over there, Rich? Are you back up yet or still waiting?
It's still spinning on my end, but I'm having fun watching you guys.
All right. We'll just keep going then.
Fair enough. So we got some travel news. Actually, this is like probably my saddest news for those of you that are on Facebook, Instagram right now. And if you kind of know that I'm really into running, I have a goal of mine, a really big goal for lots of reasons, but I want to run the 6 world marathons, 6 major world marathons. And not just because you get a cool medal that's like probably the size of my head, but because it's like really meaningful for me, especially, you know, I have a lot of personal reasons why. But anyways, so I worked really hard to get into the Berlin Marathon, and they just canceled it yesterday. It was supposed to be at the end of September, so I'm not able to participate in that anymore. And they haven't released whether or not I'm gonna get a refund for my entry fee, or if it's gonna get automatically pushed in the next year to 2021. I'm hoping that it gets pushed to 2021, and I don't have to try to get back into the lottery, because that, it's hard to get in these races, and I was really bummed to hear about that. And also, just to top that all up, is Oktoberfest is canceled too, and that was one of the big trips we were looking forward to going on, was the Berlin Marathon and participating in Oktoberfest. So that's not going on anymore. Some more bad news as well. Stinking coronavirus. They're saying that Italy and Spain might not be open until December or even later, which is really sad. So, I think that we're all feeling it across the board. Some people more than ever, or more than others, based on health issues and every finances and all that stuff. But it's kind of come full circle for us. We even had to move our big date coming up in June. I know we didn't really get into that too much, but we are going to kind of release more information about that soon. But we have moved it, for those of you that know that we were planning to get married this June. So, a lot of things moving around here. Yeah, big news release. Really sad.
We literally haven't told anyone that, so keep it on the DL to our family.
You heard it first here.
Anyway,
points and miles. You want to get in on that?
Wait, I wanted to say one other thing that we missed. I wanted to say we were talking about our juice cleanse. I wanted to wear my Independent Health shirt today. I used to work at Independent Health for a few years before.
Cheers, everybody.
Leaving and starting at the airline, so I'm all healthed out today, being super healthy.
You have the mug too?
I worked there for like 5 years.
Jeez.
This is all I got. This was actually my favorite shirt. It's so comfortable, and I just found it in my closet, and I was like,
Quarantine and Cocktails, brought to you by Independent Health. They're our sponsor tonight. Not really.
No, they're really. But we'll pretend. Independent Health in the Grove. You could be our newest sponsors.
I love it.
All right, so points and miles news. We're going to run through this quick because we've already been gapping away for 15 minutes.
This is the basic breakdown, fast-paced points and miles news of the last 7 days. AA, American Airlines, what are you doing?
They're raising baggage fees.
Why would they raise fees now? It makes no sense.
That literally makes no sense.
Maybe they're just trying to sneak it in there because people aren't flying internationally from the United States. But if you plan on it in the future, now all of a sudden bags are going to be $75 versus $60. So that's annoying. Just so you guys know, FYI, you can get those bag fees waived by having a co-branded credit card. That's a secret, basic travel secret. Get those bag fees waived.
Thanks, Neil.
What up, Neil? I see Neil's up in the group tonight. Hope you're doing well, man.
Neil, did you do a yoga joint the other day? Because, man, that girl killed me. Oh, if anyone wants some exciting news, Yoga Joint on Instagram does free workouts. I think it's daily at 9:30. Neil, you could chat to that, but
post the link.
It's
Neil.
so hard, but it's so good. It's like a mixture of yoga, Pilates, and like high speed, not high speed, but like it's low impact, but hard work. So you like don't stop for 45 minutes. Anyway, that's my jam on that. All right, next up, Chase.
Check on Rich, see how he's doing. Let's see. Chase. Oh, this is actually really interesting news. I'm curious to see anybody in the group, if you guys have any experience with this or know anybody. I heard through the grapevine that Chase business credit cards are now tightening up a little bit on accepting people for those cards. And as you guys know, those are some of the most lucrative cards in the game. I heard a couple of conflicting reports or different varying reports about people being denied for not having any like money accounts with them. So if you don't have a checking account or a savings account, or you don't have, or even if you have the account but you don't have money in it, that might be a factor for denials. I'm kind of hypothetically just thinking about like why are they doing this? Obviously, they don't want to lend out all this credit right now because people probably aren't going to be paying it back, or there are going to be a lot of people that are defaulting on credit cards and on loans, given the kind of the state of society right now. So if you guys have any data points, I'd love to hear them. Drop them in the comments or do a post in the Facebook group. Just let us know if you've applied for a business card lately as a sole proprietor or LLC or anything else. And there's ants crawling on Lisa.
I literally just swatted it away. I saw that. All right.
We have ants. They're not in her pants right
Oops.
now.
I hope I didn't see that. Okay,
All right.
Yoga Joint is on Instagram Live 9:30 weekdays. Maybe weekends. I don't know, but just for anyone that's interested, it's a good workout. Try it out. All right.
All right, so on to the next news. Lots of banks are offering extended time to meet minimum spends. That's really cool. That actually is really positive news, given what's going on in society and financially. A lot of banks are doubling down. So typically you have 3 months to meet the spending requirement when you open a new card. Now for a lot of banks are offering 6, which is great. So, if you are considering opening a card, maybe that is extra motivation for you to go ahead and do it. If you think you can meet, $3,000 or $4,000 spending requirement in 6 months versus 3. But don't count on that. But those are a lot of data points that are coming out. Capital One, Chase, Bank of America. So that's all our points and miles news.
No, that's not.
Oh, you got something else?
One more, the Southwest Companion Pass.
Oh my God, I forgot about this.
They
one.
are extending. If your Companion Pass was expiring this year, 2020, they're extending it for 6 months, so you'll have it through 2021. So far, nothing yet on for those who have it earned through the end of next year. I'm hoping maybe they'll extend it again, but I really don't know.
Yeah, I know a lot of people got the Companion Pass like a couple months ago,
Yeah.
so theirs already expires in June 2021. And for those of you that are joining and don't know about the Companion Pass, and we kind of like skipped over that, that is like one of the best travel perks in the world, I want to say. Basically, you can add a companion and fly them for free anywhere you go on Southwest, as long as you pay for one of the flights. So, and the best part about the whole thing, and that lasts for 2 years from when you get it, and the best part is you can use points to pay for that first flight or that initial flight. So essentially, you could fly for free 2 people round trip to a bunch of places. All you have to do is pay the tax. Domestically, it's like $5.60 a person each way, and internationally it varies, $20-$30 a person.
Sometimes more than that, but
yeah.
All right.
But not compared to the price of those actual flights.
And then lastly, they are extending elite status extensions.
A-list.
A-list will be that's 6 months also, right?
Yeah, I think it's
or
6
all
months.
of next year.
It's either 6 months or all of next year. Either way, and I think it might be all of next year.
I think it's all of next year too.
I love A-list.
And lastly,
I have A-list and Lisa doesn't, so she's really jealous.
I'm A-list on Southwest anyway. They love me.
Yeah, right.
They do.
I have to hold the seat. I'm one of those guys.
He does.
I'm holding the seat, like looking around, pretending like I'm sleeping and stuff.
Nobody's holding any seats though right now because nobody's flying. So
yeah.
So anyway,
throwback.
And one last quick trick that I'll shout out to Richard Sheeb that had reached out to me, I think this past weekend, that he had so Southwest extended their travel funds, but he had a Love voucher that expired that day. I think it was April 19th. And they weren't extending vouchers, but I tweeted them and we got them to extend his vouchers. And then we're testing out a little trick, and if it works, I'm gonna write an article about it. But basically, book the voucher, book a ticket with the voucher, and then cancel the ticket, and it should refund you into a travel credit, which then right away it might not say it's an extended expiration, but it should extend up to September 1st of 2022, because that's the extension that Southwest is doing on their travel funds. So just a little trick to extend those Love vouchers. If you have any that are expiring, book a ticket, cancel it to get the travel credits, and make sure obviously that you're booking it enough for the amount of the travel funds. So I'll write more about that in detail, but I want to say now, I think it's time for Rich is waiting. We finally got him on.
He's coming.
So let me
Hey, Rich.
pop him in.
While he's coming in, I just want to throw something out there real quick.
Hey, Rich.
Oh, here he is. There he is.
Dave, go right ahead. I'm hanging on your every word.
Just 2 quick money updates. And I did do articles about these. The Rakuten bumped up the refer a friend program to $30 a person, and you get 30 and your friend gets 30, which is huge. So if you don't have Rakuten, it used to be called eBay. I definitely would suggest grabbing an account and jumping on that. All you literally have to do is go to Gift Card Mall or giftcards.com through their portal, buy a $30 gift card to anywhere, wherever you want, and all of a sudden you just got a free gift card. It's literally that easy. So check out my article about that. And then secondly, I got my 5 free stocks from Webull this past week. If you don't know about Webull, it's an investment app, and they basically just give you free stocks for opening an account and putting money into it. You don't even have to invest it. But I ended up getting like $50 just for opening it, so that's pretty cool. I think my link's out there too if you want to hop in the investment game. It's been kind of crazy watching it. They gave me like JetBlue and American Airlines stock, so that's fun to watch. All right, that's all I got to say about that.
All right. I think we're going to have to start a separate segment just for news because that took like a long time.
It took 27 minutes. What?
I know. That's why.
We're talking about ants for 10 of them.
All right. So anyway, we want to introduce Rich, who we met a year ago now, maybe a little more than a year ago. Initially, we met Rich from, I think he had reached out to us about doing a podcast for his podcast that he runs called Guys Telling Stories.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a segment on Aruba. It was our first podcast. It was really fun. We'll link that in, we'll link that later of what the article was that has the podcast on it. If you guys want to listen to it, he had some pretty great podcasts out in the past. And now he recently just started, Teacher Enterprises, is it?
Teacher Entrepreneurs.
Teacher Entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs.
I don't know where I got Enterprises from. Was that on something?
Maybe a commercial. I don't know.
Yeah, she just likes to rent a car.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of.
Actually, before we even jump in, that was a really great introduction, Lisa. I want to congratulate Rich because he just started this YouTube channel and he's been killing it. He's already over 1,000 subscribers. That's awesome, man. Congratulations
Rich.
on that. Obviously, you're putting in the time, putting in the effort. The videos show, and it's really awesome.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, I said it in the last video. I thought it might take a year to get to 1,000. Just from other people I've had on the podcast, other people, they start their own and they go, do a YouTube video a week. And all of a sudden, you start to build a slow following, but it took maybe a month, maybe like 30 days, 31 days. So.
Oh, that's new.
Sorry, we're messing with our lighting.
Oh, that's okay. Can you hear me okay though? I'm using this mic here.
Your sound is great.
Okay, good. Yeah, but Dave, thanks for noticing. And you know what? Like you blink and it's at like 1,600 right now subscribers.
Wow.
And yeah, so I'm throwing myself into that 100%.
So why don't you give us a quick background of what the new YouTube channel is and what kind of content you're producing?
Yeah, well, just like everybody else, we got shut down pretty quickly. I think it was right around March 13th. I think it was Friday the 13th. So Dave, as you know, they shut down schools, I think on the 14th. And so everybody's home and we don't even know if we're supposed to still, do our jobs from home or what. So I decided to record a video on found money once a year. Dave, you'd love this if you don't already do this. You put it on your calendar, go to these 2 websites, you check your name, your relatives' names, and you see if you could, find some unclaimed funds. And for me, I think I found something like $244 one year. So my kid went to sleep. It was like 10 at night. I recorded a video in the dark about how you can go find some money, and then decided to do another one the next day. And by the 3rd or 4th one, all of a sudden it just blew up. And I was helping all these people apply for unemployment if they are self-employed, which has never happened in the history of America. So obviously a lot of people clicked on that video.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I saw it. Didn't it have like a lot? It had a lot, like thousands.
Oh my gosh, it's probably close to 75,000 views now, which
What?
That's
yeah,
Holy
I
crap.
I don't make predictions, but my younger brother's like, oh man, it's going to be over 100,000. And coming from the podcast world, I'm used to thousands of views. Your episode, guys, had probably 13,000 downloads and stuff, and that's a lot. But 100,000's 10 times that, so it's going pretty well. Yeah, and it's funny you guys brought up in the intro. I just did a business credit card episode today because if you want one, you better jump on that now.
Oh my God,
absolutely.
yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah, those
Definitely.
business credit cards are definitely tightening up. So
Yeah, for those of you that are just joining us, we've got Rich here. We talked about a lot of stuff in the first half an hour, including juice cleanses and ants and Chase tightening up and credit card bonuses. Make sure you hit the replay afterwards if you missed that. But we're gonna get started with our interview. Please drop any questions you've got for us down in the group or in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. If you have points of miles questions, travel, or any questions for Rich, and we'll kind of keep this going here for maybe 40 minutes or so.
yeah, we'll go a little over because we did start a little delayed because of our audio issues.
And then after the interview, we'll get to your guys' questions.
Sound good? All right. So you kind of touched into, how coronavirus is affecting you, your job, you're kind of at home now. What is your, I guess, home now with are you still working like from home for schools and teaching or?
Yeah, it's something where I think everybody's trying to figure out on the fly. You can kind of see the background here. This is our home gym / office. And my wife and I are both working from home. I'm doing teaching classes remotely, trying to figure that out on the fly. And we meet on Zoom once a week with the whole team. And my wife's usually in this office doing her thing. She's a nurse practitioner, so she's on the COVID-19 hotline. That's part of her day job. So
wow.
she grabs these calls of people wondering if they have it. She triages them, sends them back. And this is all the while, got like a little 2-year-old running around in the back, just yelling about fire trucks and garbage trucks. And it's crazy. Today he's going on a walk with mom. So like, I don't know if you can hear it. It's like so quiet. It's nice. So,
Okay.
It's the beautiful sound of nothing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It kind of makes you appreciate the routine that a job provides. I don't know if you know what I mean by that. But I also am getting very used to like this retirement life. So I could see myself retiring early, but still doing something like the YouTube and the podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Fire, right?
Exactly. Yeah. If you guys don't mind me throwing it back your way, I mean, both of you, at least if you want to get into it first, I saw those sad posts of you driving from Florida back to New York. What happened there? Like, what was did you, for example, did you know it was coming or was it just like a shock?
I knew it was coming. So I work for an airline, for those of you who don't know, and I'm a flight attendant. I just started 6 months ago. It was something I've always dreamed of doing, and I kind of did the typical route. I went to college. I got a degree. I went to grad school, so I have my MBA. And then I hopped around for a bunch of – I've had different jobs. I worked at Citibank. I worked I tried doing financial planning for a year. I was also trying to build a house at the same time, so that didn't work very well. I did love that position. But and then I moved on to independent health. I was there for almost 5 years. And then they told me one day that I couldn't take off a day unpaid or something. And I was like, you know what? I'm just over this. And I said, throw in the towel, quit this cushy job, and go try to follow my dream. Well, I didn't just quit it. I applied and got hired for the job. Broke my leg, delayed everything. But anyway,
I thought you were gonna really get into the broke your leg story.
I'll get into that later.
Yeah, you just kind of like broke my leg. Like,
I know. And in 3 days is the 1 year anniversary of that. So that was definitely a life-changing thing. Maybe I'll do a live and talk about that. But and kind of that path and that journey of where I've been since then. But so in September, I started with the airline, and I basically have been living in Florida the last 6 months. I'd fly home every week. I'd be home for a couple days at a time. And then coronavirus started. And, you know, at first it was just, oh, it's in China, so it's not a big deal. And then in March, I was starting to fly a lot because I'm on call. So people, or I guess the other flight attendants will call out, and then you work basically. Or when there's a lot of flights canceling and things being rerouted, they have to find different crews to work flights. So I was working a ton, and they had offered R&R, which is like rest and relaxation or something. And it's basically an unpaid month off. So they offered it for April. So I had submitted for it, and I just had a feeling that it was getting worse. I have a lot of friends in airlines, other airlines, and they were all getting like 3-month, 5-month leaves. And I just knew at that point, I had a feeling that if I was leaving, you know, even if I'm off for a month, Dave and I drove my car down in November. I was like, I'm not leaving my car in Florida because I already had it hit when it was parked. So that's a whole nother story. But I think I just knew. I had a feeling if there was going to be unpaid time off that I could take, I was going to take it because we've been trying to grow our business, grow Basic Travel Couple, and any unpaid time off, even if it was unpaid, I was going to take it. So
well, even if you didn't take it, you would have kind of been forced to take it. Like,
yeah.
Like and then if you were forced, wasn't the ultimatum if you didn't take it, and if you're furloughed or put on leave, you don't, like, I don't know. There's definitely like a substantial difference between voluntarily like taking a leave because of the state of the industry versus being like forced to.
Yeah.
So like it was like the better of two bad situations or two bad options.
Yeah. So voluntarily leaving, I still got to keep my benefits and flight benefits, but it's not like I can use them right now anyway. So we drove my car up. I'm definitely off for May. I already got that, and they just offered a 5-month leave until end of September. So I put in for that. I don't know when. I'll find out April or March. What month is it? May sometime. So I'm still waiting on unemployment though. So if you have tricks, I've already applied. I've just been waiting. They've called me, and it's crazy how long it's taken to get through the system.
That's another reason too that I think it was a good move to take the leave, because I'm pretty sure. So because a lot of airlines took bailout money from the government, I'm pretty sure that they can't let go of people. But if people that didn't take the leave that are still technically like working but they're not flying, you're going to actually earn more money on unemployment than you would if you were just kind of sitting like on queue.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not actually flying.
I know, Lisa, you mentioned Florida, and you have to apply where you work. Did you do both? Did you apply in Florida? Did you apply in New York? I mean, I think I already know the answer to both these questions, but
good questions.
I have answered probably over 1,000 YouTube comments asking, how does this all work? So, you know, how did it work for you so far?
So I actually applied in New York State because I applied before I realized you were supposed to apply in the state that you work. And since I only worked in Florida for the last, I guess, like 6 months, I know unemployment goes based off of your last 18 months. And I've been employed in New York State more so than I was in Florida. So I honestly don't know. I personally think I'm paying New York State taxes. I live in New York. Like, I'm paying out of my paycheck New York State taxes, so it makes no sense to me why you would why I would file in Florida. That's my own thing, but whatever. So I don't know if you have any comments on that, how that works, but
well, the idea is you are supposed to apply in the state where you work, but I'll just give you like 2 or 3 scenarios where none of this makes sense. Like, I've had people ask me, they're like, hey, I gamble a lot in Vegas and I report my winnings. So can I apply for unemployment now in Nevada because I can't gamble? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, well, I guess you can. I had a buddy, and he's in Mexico. He teaches English to Chinese students from a company out of California. So where does he apply? And
Right.
his answer was his address is in New York. He kind of works out of California, so he's going to apply in California. But for fun today, and this is what's fun to me, I called the governor's office, I called our state assembly, I called the U.S. senators, and then I guess like the state senators, and nobody knows how any of this is working. No one.
You
Just
YouTube that whole process, like
just like leave a message, write an email.
Yeah.
But if I could say like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, I don't have a crystal ball. Like if you get a check for all this back pay, it's going to be for $3,000 to $6,000 in unemployment. So, I mean, if I told you right now, you got to put up with all this crap for $6,000, you'd be like, all right, I'll do it.
Right.
You know,
Whatever. Okay.
but so frustrating right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's so many people that are struggling to figure this system out and to apply, and people that like are living paycheck to paycheck. It's really sad, and I hope that the system gets fixed quicker rather than later. I can't even imagine kind of like being like if you didn't have internet, if you didn't have a computer, you didn't have access, and trying to figure all this stuff out. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of people out there that are dealing with that right now. So
yeah, I mean, we're system people. Like, give us a point structure and we'll figure it out and use it to our advantage. So if there's a system that's not like the system's just not working right now. So I think I am going to do a follow-up video, but today's test with all those calls, that was going to be like my suggestion to other people. I don't think it would be fruitful to send people on a wild goose chase calling all these assembly people. But yeah, I don't know.
That's cool that you tried though.
I had to.
It, man.
I had to. Yeah. So, it's a whole new world out there. How's this affected you guys as like business as Basic Travel Couple? I mean, your genre, your niche is travel. How have you guys pivoted a little bit to keep the content going?
That's a good question. I mean, we've really just been focusing on the changes in the industry and in the points of miles world and credit card world, and just general like what's going on in travel. Just talking about the airlines and how they change the programs, extend statuses, all that sort of stuff. And we, I think I really started off writing a lot of content about what people could do during the quarantine time or during the time at home. How to stay busy, what to do with like the extra time if you have it and you're lucky enough to have that extra time. I talked about giving blood and how critical that was, and I went out and gave blood myself. Lisa's working on a new content spinoff called Healthy at Home, so she's going to be writing some healthy at home articles, starting with that juice cleanse that we had done last week. And I thought her article was really cool that she put together and really informative. So then we might have a little treat coming in the mail soon. Oh, if anyone buys anything, please use our Amazon link. It does help support our blog and our group. But I don't know, did you order it yet? The big surprise?
I don't know what the surprise is.
So we're getting an air fryer.
I'm
really excited. I don't know much about the air fryers other than it's supposed to make some delicious cuisine that's a little bit more healthy for you. We're trying to be healthy at home.
Yeah.
That's why we're not drinking lagers tonight. We've got tea, green tea.
And water.
Water and
got
juice.
My big water bottle that I drink like 6 of them a day.
This is my cocktail tonight, lemon and water.
Yeah.
Cheers. Yep.
Cheers.
What do you got? What are you drinking?
So it was called Quarantine Cocktails. So I grabbed a couple of fun beers. I think you guys have been to New York City about 1,000 times, right? So I got a single cut beer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and just a little nice IPA for this quarantine and cocktails.
Man, I do want to touch base on IPAs real quick.
Yeah.
One thing that I am loving is the creativity from the local breweries, like Big Ditch, Resurgence, New York Beer Project. All the local breweries have been coming up with some unique brews that they're making. And I like the events and the release dates, and they're like selling out pretty quickly, which is pretty cool. I like the pivot from the breweries to kind of stay relevant and keep the beer drinkers happy out there. I'm really sad that I'm not drinking one of those right now, but the juice cleanse may have been a game changer for me. We'll see. And my skin's looking nicer, right?
It sure is.
Hi, Tammy.
Oh man, so that was a great question, Rich. I feel like I'm actually interested in what people want to hear more of. What's interesting to me is, from what people have told me, they want to still see points and miles and travel content. And it's I guess it's cool to write about it still, even though we can't utilize it, but it's a good time to learn about award programs, making the most of your points and miles, and seeing what you can actually do with those. So I think I'm going to try to get back to writing some of that content.
Well, I listened that Lisa mentioned she grabbed the Hyatt card. Mine came in the mail maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was going to save it for the YouTube channel, do a unboxing, but it comes in a white envelope, and there's nothing sexy about it. So I was like, all right, let me pass on that. But along the same lines, I'm thinking that's hotel rooms for the next year. And I was going to send you guys a screenshot. I had today was the day to book Las Vegas hotel rooms for the Buffalo Bills game, because I figured the NFL season would be announced at midnight or something last night. Yeah. Now they've postponed that. But to go back to your point, if you're in the points and miles game, setting stuff up that's completely refundable for the next, 6 months, next February, it's a great idea, because you don't know how long this thing's going to last, but there could be some killer deals. And if you're still excited about traveling, if you're not fearful of going to see relatives or taking that trip you've been waiting on forever, do it, and if it doesn't work out, just cancel it and get all the points back.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Bills Vegas. I really hope that life is better by that time, and that is something I've been looking forward to for a long time.
Let me just say that, Dave, one of the dates, we were looking at dates in the fall to reschedule our wedding, and Dave literally told me I was looking at a Sunday date.
A Sunday of a long weekend.
And it was
like a holiday weekend.
If that's the weekend of the Bills Vegas game, I'm going to the game. No, you're not.
Come on.
So
Bills Vegas.
If it makes you feel better, my wife's birthday is October 3rd. And I was like, well, honey, for your birthday weekend, we'll just go to the Bills Vegas game. And she's like, it's my birthday. That sounds like a gift to you. So
it's for you. We're going to the game.
Yeah, you're going to get a nice Caesar Rewards dinner. At a very fancy steakhouse. You could pick it from a list of 20.
Well, I don't know. We'll dive a little deeper there. I mean, I was researching buffets for for that free $100 certificate. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
To if anyone doesn't know what that is, essentially you could status match your way to getting a $100 certificate for free per person at a bunch of different restaurants down in Vegas. And we have done, I think we've used that 2 years in a row. The first year we used it at Ruth's Chris's Steakhouse. $100. I think I had a $70 steak. It's phenomenal. Most expensive steak I've ever had. And then last year we flew to Vegas for one night.
Literally.
One night, used points and miles, flew for free. We got our 2 free show tickets, because you get that as a perk as well. Went to a show, went to Nobu for dinner, used our $100 voucher each. And I think we ended up, our bill was $300, so we just splurged. So we had a $300 dinner for $100.
Wow.
And did we go to a lounge maybe?
I don't think we did the
Vegas lounge in the airport.
We definitely did the Priority Pass lounge in the airport.
Yeah. Yeah, which is awesome. So we had a ton of free stuff, free food, free drinks, free flights, and a free hotel.
Celebration dinner, yes.
Yeah. Everything was free. It was a whole weekend of free.
Speaking of the Vegas apps, you guys, if you haven't yet, Rich, you should download. I just wrote, or I didn't write the article actually. Deneen, one of our readers, who we met at the fire meeting that we did, the presentation we did.
Oh, cool.
Ago now, she wrote an article about the different Vegas apps, the My Vegas, My I don't know. There's like 4 different apps you can play games on. It's free. I have like 30 or 40, almost 40,000 tier credits now that you can redeem for freebies. So you could get free buffets, free hotel rooms. Eventually, you could even get like a free helicopter ride. So there's tons of cool perks.
It's like a slot machine game that just keeps running. So you can put on autoplay and it just keeps playing. But actually, kind of to piggyback off that, if you have the Caesars Rewards app, that's what it looks like.
I just put on autoplay and throw it to the side and get some points.
So those of you that are Diamond members that are playing the whole status match game, if you have the Caesars Rewards app downloaded, log on, click on offers on the far right-hand side. If you opt into those every single day, you can get free tier credits. I think it's like 50 per every 3 days or something. But I'm up to 200 or 250 right now. And what those are, I think it's like $1 per 100. So 1,000 tier credits is $10 that you can use to like buy something in Vegas. And literally just opt into these offers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll jump in there. The tier credits are good for these lounges and all the Caesars casinos. And one of the only ways that I knew about it at the time was to transfer from Wyndham over to Caesar. What I didn't know when I went to do it is that the minimum transfer was 10,000. So for my Vegas, Bills weekend, I'm like, honey, we're going to the lounge at least 5 times.
Did you transfer them?
I did. I had an anniversary coming up, so I knew I'd already be getting another 6,000. And then they always run sales if I needed to round it out. But I just wanted to see, what would happen for research purposes. And
you want to bring a couple of basic guests with you.
By all means. But now that I know that I can get a couple more tier things, I mean, you can't pay for that. That's one thing that everybody out there, if you want to figure out how to, get into these casino lounges, you have to have the points. You can't just give them $10 and get in. So yeah, you guys are more than welcome. Yeah.
Lisa got in for free when we were there because I
just sweet talk my way in.
Yeah, she sweet talked her way in. She was playing the vegetarian card, and they had a lot of meat options on the buffet and the free food in the free lounge with the free drinks. Lisa played the vegetarian card, and they're like, "All right, come on in," because I paid the 1,000 points or whatever it was to get in.
Oh, nice.
We have a couple comments here. I just want to butt in. First, I want to say hi to the Faye kids. They're watching while eating dinner. So hey guys, appreciate you guys watching.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi, Faye.
Happy Earth Day, kids.
And we have a couple questions about Caesars Diamond or Caesars status matching and benefits and things like that. So we could touch on those. We do have some articles on them. We could also link. Let me just put a note to link them for you later, but we'll touch on them briefly. Vegas. Okay, so is there any way to match Caesars Diamond to M Life Elite? Yes-ish. No.
Yes. Sort of.
Yeah. You want to take this one?
You have to go to Atlantic City, basically.
Yes.
Yep.
That was going to be my response.
That's where you're going.
Go ahead.
Well, so for me, living in New York, I don't make it out to New Jersey as much as I'd like to. And if you don't hear the sarcasm in my voice, it's just even when I pop into New York City, I have friends in Long Island. Sometimes we don't see each other. If you're in Brooklyn, you're not necessarily going to Manhattan. So if you're looking to, I guess what I'm saying is if you're looking to match it, you literally have to go to a specific casino in Atlantic City. And it's changing all the time. So
yeah, we actually talked about going down there and doing that status match if things get a little bit better and we can travel and it's actually acceptable to travel. That would be, if we can't do anything else and go anywhere else, it'd be a good time to go down there and just do the match and get all the freebies. Because it's not just the match that you get. You get the MGM match. You could also match the Hard Rock, I believe, and I think there might be another match you can do too in Atlantic City with Caesars Diamond. So you get free food, you get free rooms, a lot of cool perks down there for doing those matches. So the status match life is awesome, and you can do that all for literally a $95 Hilton card. That's it.
Yeah, that's why I know that we can go to Atlantic City, but I was like, you know what, let me just put this card on my list of cards to get. Like you, Lisa, I waited probably a year and a half to get it. And now we're working on the spend. So
Yeah. And touching on that, we have asking about Caesar's Diamond Bahamas benefit. So Dave and I actually took advantage of this past Christmas. Caesar's Diamond status gets you a free 2-night stay. You're right, 4-night stay in Bahamas Atlantis Resort. We actually decided to split it. I think we did.
So this
2
is
nights
a
and 2
hack.
nights.
Why did we do it?
Yeah. So why we did it is because each time you stay, each person gets $100 credit at the casino to gamble.
Yeah. So we had 8 nights total, but we only wanted to stay 4.
Yeah.
So we each booked 2 nights because we both have diamond status. So we ended up making $200 in casino credit, which was a really good strategy to kind of make the most of that free stay.
Yeah.
But it's not free. Like there are taxes that you have to pay per day. It was like $30 or something. But we ended up covering that with the casino credit, which was cool.
And you had to pay. You had to play for 5 hours. 4 or 5 hours per person. So we each would sit there and play like penny slots.
No, the stupidest game for all of you Vegas people out there. Anybody that has played the fish game in the casino, I think it's at all casinos. I don't know if it's just Vegas.
Gone fishing or
Caesars and everywhere. The stupid fish games. I've heard it from other people.
It's not stupid. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I lost money. Like we would have been up like $400 or $500 until I lost like 200 on the last day because I was trying to win my money back.
That she had already earned, like the classic chasing your loss or whatever.
So.
Yeah, the fish game. You have to literally you're spinning the wheel, and all of a sudden these fishes fly by the screen, and then you gotta grab the controller and try to catch the fish.
Yeah.
And each fish is worth $10, $20, $30.
Yeah.
So it's super addicting. So Caesar's Diamond. If you have it, you just book it by calling them. They give you your reservation and your confirmation number and check availability. One tricky thing is though, you can kind of go to different towers, and we stay at the main area, the main towers, which are the better ones. If you check out, we can link to the article, but there are a couple different places that they put you in, and the main place is definitely where you want to stay if you do take advantage of that benefit.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys have any tips for saving money on food? I just hear, you can spend $18 on a hot dog. So these fake kids that are watching, they might want to know, hey.
Yes.
Basic.
How do you get a good meal at a fair price?
Don't eat at the resort.
Yeah.
So if you walk right off into, I forget what the area was, but it was their little city. What is that?
Yeah, the Marina.
Yeah.
Village.
Bay or Village, yeah.
Across from Marina Village.
You could eat in there. There was some cheaper stuff, but if you kept going and actually left that area, we found a couple pretty cheap places outside of there. There was one, I think we had pizza and fish. I forget the name of the place right nearby, but I think in the article too.
Anthony's, there
you go.
Yeah.
We talked about what the different food places were. And we went around Christmas, so some stuff was closed because it was a holiday, so it was a little weird for us, but we're always huge fans of PB&J.
Yeah. But there's a place called the Burger Shack that's in the Marina Village, and that was pretty affordable. You got a solid sized burger and a side, like an onion ring or french fry, and I think it was $20 or $30. It wasn't outlandishly expensive. If you get a burger and fries in Iceland, you're paying 3 times that per person. It's insane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good point.
So now, Rich, I want to ask you too. Let's kind of tie back into you. We don't have kids. You've mentioned before that you do. You have a 2-year-old running around there. What would you say are some of your best travel hacks for traveling with kids?
So the best one, you can check out my Instagram, Teacher Entrepreneurs. Those luggage straps that sometimes people put around their bag to use a certain color, that's my bag. You can wrap that around them twice and have them sit on the top of your carry-on and wheel them right through the airport.
I love that.
And I'm telling you, you will get you will make everyone's day. I don't care if it's the rainiest day in Chicago or the coldest day in Alaska. Everybody will smile at this little boy with his legs going like this, like flying all over.
Oh my God.
So
I need
yeah,
a picture of that.
YouTube
Or-
video. That's a YouTube video.
yeah, the video's on my Instagram. I didn't know my wife was taking it. And at
Okay.
first they look at you and they're like, no, that's not safe. I'm like, this is safer than a seatbelt. So anyway, yeah. The other thing that I've heard people say, and this is more of like tongue in cheek, it looks like one of our users or commenters just said this is,
Yeah.
don't take them. And I'll say that once a year, my wife and I, we do take a trip, just us. It's to rekindle the relationship. It's to connect. And just like when you were growing up and you remember those TV shows, like when the kids leave the house, the parents look at each other and go, it's so quiet. It is so quiet and it is amazing. You can go to happy hour, you go to have a nice dinner, go to bed at 9 o'clock, wake up. I mean, it takes like 3-4 days to get used to life without kids. But if you can do that, her parents always did that. And now they're the ones that will watch our son. We have another one on the way in the end of June, July. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats on
Congrats
that.
on
yeah,
June
so
30th is my birthday. If you want to have him on that day, we could share a birthday. That would be fun.
yeah, we'll schedule it just for that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good day.
And just adding on to it, the other thing I'd say that the travel hacking game gets a little bit tougher, but I'm a plan ahead kind of guy. So before the Corona thing took over, we had this Bourbon Trail trip planned for the summer. Maker's Mark offers this program. It's like 12 years in the making. You put your name on a barrel, and then they send you a gift every year, every Christmas. Like, hey, your barrel's maturing. It's maturing. And I got the invite this year to specially like take the whiskey from the barrel and dip my own bottle and everything. So
What?
yeah, so we planned to go. You can show up between like April and August. Maybe they'll extend it now that I think of it. But with kids, you need maybe 1-2 hotel rooms. You might need to bring the in-laws. So when you're working on those points, it's not just 2 people anymore. You need all the points you can get. So yeah, my advice is just to plan ahead kind of thing.
Awesome. Good advice. What's your favorite points you've used for traveling with kids? Do you guys have the Southwest Companion Pass? Is that your top?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like Dave said, it really is like the creme de la creme, and it's very accessible. You just have to work the system. But we went to Aruba not this past Christmas, but 2 Christmases ago, and we had our son with us, and we brought Santa hats, and it was like one of those commercials where you're like kicking off your sandals, putting on the Santa hat. We had people coming up to us thanking us, like, thank you for coming out with your son on Christmas Eve and being in Aruba. And it's like, this is incredible. Thank you so much. So that was all companion pass. Like you said, you pay the fees or whatever it is for the 3 people. And we're hoping to go back there in February. We have it all planned already, but we'll see.
Are you going to Renaissance? Marriott Renaissance?
Yeah, now that I knew about it before the podcast, when we interviewed you guys, I said it in the podcast, you guys did everything we did not do. So so now we have a whole new list. We're not bringing the kids, and yeah, we're going to hit up everything that we didn't do last time.
Love it. Barefoot. Oh my God, that restaurant where you sit literally, you sit in the water. Like not like literally sit in the water, but like your feet are in the water and you watch the sunset there. You have to call ahead and get a reservation so you want like the seats in the water. It's freaking cool. And the food is so delicious, like the freshest seafood. If you like seafood. And yeah, I love Aruba. The ATV tours, the flamingos, Flamingo Beach. And I hope so did you already book your hotels for this trip?
Yeah, it's already booked, but everything's refundable. So
did you get it at the 35,000 point rate before they went up in a tier category, or
Yeah, but I don't know if you guys want to talk about this at all. I noticed a little tricky thing they did. You could book it at the 35, but they didn't actually book it yet. They left this little like window open that said, we reserve the right to charge you a higher rate unless you have the points withdrawn like today. And I'm like, I just booked. Of course I want the points withdrawn today.
Yeah.
but that was because they knew the rate was going to go up. So I booked it. No points came out. I checked, saw that statement, told them to take the points out. About 2 days later, everything went up. So
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you
Super-
just made it in time.
yeah, like kind of on purpose. Everybody was talking about it. It's like, you better just book a bunch of this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a killer, probably one of the most killer deals out there. 35,000 points a night for that hotel is insane. But I think it's 40 or 50 now, which is still, it's okay. But 35 was just crazy.
Yeah.
Such a steal.
Definitely a fan of those goals. I'm not, Dave and I don't have kids, but you know, when he first kind of pitched the idea of traveling on holiday. We haven't been to holidays in probably 4 years, right? So really, since we started dating, I think we pretty much skipped every single holiday. Which, like, I don't like not seeing my family. We started this past year, we saw them like right before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then we planned a trip after. But traveling during the holidays, it's honestly,
That's awesome. It's addicting. It's cool to pick out a different
Yeah.
Caribbean island or somewhere to go, especially if we were paying full price for this travel. I don't think there's any possible way we'd be able to do
No.
all these trips. But
and
the fact that it's almost free
yeah,
with points and miles, it's so cool to just say, all right, where are we going for Christmas? Where are we going for
Mhm.
Thanksgiving? Which island are we going to? And like, how are we going to save the most money using points and miles? It's been a game changer.
we usually preemptively decide to do Caribbean for Christmas and Thanksgiving just
'Cause it's
they're
cold in
closer,
Buffalo.
and it's cold in Buffalo.
Mhm.
But
That's the reason why.
to mention too, like Stella said that in lieu of gifts, Dave and I don't give each other gifts anymore. Our gifts are really travel and those experiences together. And I don't think we'll get each other gifts here and there, but I don't think the experiences could ever recreate any type of gift I think we've gotten each other. I think the travel actually makes the gift, if that makes sense. I don't know, Rich, do you have any thoughts on that? Like, what is?
Yeah, I'm a deep kind of guy. And I know the love languages, the 5 love languages.
Yes.
And gifts is last on my wife and I's love languages. And if for people who aren't familiar with that, it's not a big deal. But I'll give you, for example, I bought my my birthday gift already. It's in the closet. And it's like a travel wallet that I already have one of them. It's starting to wear and tear. My wife's like, oh, I love you so much. It's like, I'm so glad we don't care about gifts because we get to do other things with our money.
Mhm.
And I think that's very smart. Like those experiences, when you go somewhere new, you get that memory in your mind and it just sticks,
Yeah.
and if you're staying home, unwrapping in the same, spot, those are great memories too, but there's a whole world to see. So
Yeah.
At some level, I'm like excited to have kids someday down the road and be able to take them to these places and hopefully, hopefully we get back to a point where the points and miles world is where it was and
Mhm.
we're able to still do the things that we were doing before, at that same level. But it is cool. It's it's a cool experience. I didn't have any of these experiences as a kid. I had gone to Mexico once, and since we've been dating, we've been to 20 countries in a few years.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a game changer.
We'll be sure to link the 5 love languages on our Amazon. So if you guys want to order, use our link. We appreciate it.
It's a good book.
But it is actually a
Great
really
book.
good book. I thought I valued gifts a lot more, but I don't. I think spending time and experiences is far higher on my list.
Mhm.
And one other thing I wanted to kind of note on that, and one memory of my grandma that I remember is this one time my grandma had dementia in the last few years of her life. So it was really sad kind of seeing her lose her memory and not know who we were, whatever, and everything. But one time I took my grandma home. This was way before she started getting really bad. This was probably like 10 years ago. I don't know. I got lost. I didn't realize I was supposed to get off on the 33 she lived right off of Hurdle on North Park. And I don't know. I think I wound up in the South Towns and I'm like, I had to pull over in a parking lot and I'm calling. I'm like upset and frustrated. And for the longest time, for years, like when my grandma really started losing it, that was the one thing she always brought up. She was like, remember that time we got lost? And she like, it just melted my heart because it was such a frustrating experience for me. But the fact that she remembered that experience more than anything, like she wouldn't even know my name, but she would remember that. So that to me sticks out so strongly, that having experiences, people remember that. They remember that feeling and like being together. And I think that's something that
I usually bring up when you lead me in wrong directions when you're driving too a lot. It's because I'm terrified of where you're taking me. No, I'm just kidding.
But
yeah, Lisa made a volcano in no, it's a waterfall. She made up a waterfall in Iceland.
I didn't make it up.
And then she went to sleep and literally typed in a made up address that I drove 2 hours ago. So, and I'm looking, and she's sleeping. It's a nice little sleep. And I'm literally driving around Iceland looking for a waterfall that does not exist. I thought I was losing my mind.
False. It did exist, but it was just.
No, it didn't exist.
No, it did. It existed in the way northern part of Iceland, just not where we were in the southwest. And it was like the northeast, which was like 8 hours away. So somehow my pin, I think I did a Google Map pins of locations I wanted to visit. And Iceland has very crazy spelling for names of places. And yeah, this one didn't work out too well for me, and Dave was very upset. And I've literally made him lost so many times, so
yeah, so
that's fun.
If it makes you feel better, we were in, are you guys familiar with the Cinque Terre region of Italy?
Yes, I really want to go. That's huge on my list to go to.
Well, I've never been to Iceland, but this area is super hilly and it's very difficult to like navigate and drive. And of course, being the trailblazers that we are, we looked up like an awesome restaurant to go like have dinner on and watch the sunset. But you're taking these switchback roads up and down and up and down. And then we finally get to this place and there's no room for us. It's basically someone's house with like a kitchen and a patio, and they feed people, but they don't feed strangers from America who just drove up a mountain. So I tried every sort of, sweet talking Italian like word I knew, and nothing worked. And then we couldn't turn around. It was such a narrow road that we couldn't turn around to go back down. And I luckily wasn't driving. It was my father-in-law, but that was the most worried I've ever seen him. He's trying to just follow directions to some unknown place. And everything worked out fine. We had a great dinner somewhere in town, but that story that you just told reminded me of that. And it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you are. You can still get lost.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those are definitely some of the best memories. So
yeah, I will remember that story forever.
Yeah. So, well, Rich, is there anything else you wanted to say before we? Well, I do want to thank you for coming on, but I also wanted to say I think we've passed our hour up here. Our Instagram video died because you can only do an hour on there. But definitely want to thank you so much for being on with us tonight. And again, just for everyone, where can we find you?
Yeah, please check out the YouTube channel. It's Teacher Entrepreneurs, Rich Smith, Teacher Entrepreneurs. And it's just honestly providing advice and help on what you should do with your money and your finances right now. And it's bringing out the teacher side of me. So it's exactly what I would do. It's exactly what I'm doing with my money, and it's helping a lot of people. So yeah, please check it out.
Yeah,
awesome.
So cool, man. So cool. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear like how well it's going, and I know how hard that you work on that, and it's really awesome. So congrats on your success so far, and I hope that the subscribers keep coming.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for having me on, guys. I know you've done a couple of these, and barring the technological, sound issues or whatever, this is so much fun. I can't wait to do it in person.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely at one of those cool breweries.
Yes.
Yeah, doing some fun IPAs. Once you guys are done drinking, we can still drink healthy. We can do some kombucha or something.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We will link your YouTube channel also right after this. So we'll link that so everyone can check it out if you want more information.
Oh, thank you. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we'll
you.
see you guys next week on another episode of Quarantine Cocktails.
Quarantine
Bye.
Cocktails.
Have a good rest of your night.
Bye, guys.